none of the employees who work with us are employees. They are all my family members. People who work with us, they have 20, 25, 28, 14, 16 year as far as the tenure with the company is concerned. When I started the company, I said, no, it's not me, it's a team. We started out by having a kitchen and a cook in every office. So from peon to president, we sit down together and eat. We talk to each other. We respect each other.
Welcome to the Indianness podcast. We bring you inspiring stories from leaders with Indian roots across business, healthcare, education, politics, and more. Hear how they broke barriers and are shaping the future one bold step at a time. Ram Sareen is a visionary tech pioneer and the driving force behind TUKA Group, a company that has revolutionized the apparel industry with breakthrough CAD and CAM 3D fashion technology. Founder and CEO since 1995, Sareen has transformed traditional garment design and manufacturing through disruptive innovation, democratizing digital pattern making, virtual sampling, and end-to-end fashion tech solutions used by brands and manufacturers around the world.
Come to Toronto after doing 1 year in Winnipeg. And she has to still finish the law school, so York University was going to give her the degree. And just before her final exams, we found out she's pregnant. We were living in a university apartment. I had a job. Everything was going well. There was a recession. One of the biggest buyer in Canadian retail shut down the entire thing. So 10,000 people went out of work. Companies shut down. My unemployment insurance pays me $40 a week, not even to pay the rent. So here I am delivering pizzas at night, looking for a job in the daytime, working as a draftsman for an architect company because I knew how to draw for cash money. 4 months of that hardship that I went through. Finally, a company gave me half my salary start, but there was at least a job. I took that and I swore to myself I will never, ever allow anyone to put me through this nonsense. No social contact, no nothing. I went to school every night. I worked all days. Whatever degrees, diplomas I could get, I did, but not to show off, just to learn. 5 years later, I was running as the senior vice president of a $600 million company. All because I pushed the boundaries. They said, whatever it can't be done, well, I'll show you how to do it. But there's never been a time that I haven't worked 14 to 16 to 18 hours. I started my consulting company in 1981, did wonderful, setting up a lot of factories overseas, everywhere. Had 9 engineers working for me because I used to charge maybe $3,000 a day for 5 days, but I didn't want to work on a Saturday, so I changed my price to $5,000 a day because I wanted to deter people. And still, I was billing 25 to 30 Saturdays a year. So that proved one thing: it was not the money, it was the performance, the results. If they could measure it, they would pay. So it was a great experience. I had no family life left, traveling all over the world, working almost constantly, 2 small children. My wife got upset one day. She said, you know what? You're not doing it for your children. You're doing it for your own ego. And that hit me. I said, all right, shut the business. I had a retail chain going at that time, a small factory, imports, consulting. All I wanted to do was make money. And I made a lot of money. So one day when she said that, I said, okay, that's it. I put my hat off. I retired. Bought a couple of Rolls Royces, one for my wife, one for myself. Built a beautiful house. I'm retired. 2 weeks I was home. She said, do something. Gerber, a public company, was a client of ours. People used to pay us as a consultants to tell them which CAD-CAM system they should buy. There were other competitors. So we used to work for it with so many other companies, but as an advisor only. And they asked me, why don't you come in? I said, no, I'm not working. Oh, work from your home in Toronto. They were Connecticut based. Long story short, I ended up opening a Gerber's office, building a $10 million business just in Canada. And that's based on my credibility. If I told somebody you need to buy this, they bought it. But then I made it happen. I implemented. But there was a joke in the Gerber company that 11 years I worked there, I used to drive Rolls Royces and Bentleys to work. So they knew the pay, the money that I was getting from them is not what's motivating. It's keeping me busy. And it was good, very good. So many learnings from there that I can't even tell. Joe Gerber was one hell of an inspiration. He fell ill, and the Wall Street guys took over. And next thing you know is there is no focus of customers. This has become a job. Every morning I'm furious with corporate, and I'm in Los Angeles at that time. So my wife says, "Do you really need this?" So I said, "Okay, you know what? I retire. I'm just not gonna work there anymore." And seventh day, I had a cardiac arrest. So I said, "Even good riddance now. I really don't have to work now." My wife got me a place. We thought maybe we should spend summers in Italy and winters in California. I was climbing the walls. I called my family. I say, if I don't work, I will die. I'm only 45 years old. I need to work. Okay. So 70 hours. I'm sitting in my library. I had things brewing in my head. I talked to friends and people, and I came up with a business model. It was the Memorial Day weekend when we put all of these things down. I said, "Yeah, guys, I want to talk to you. I want to start my own business. It's going to take $8 million to get started, but I don't want to have anybody's money. I'm going to take the money out of retirement fund." Both my kids were in university at that time. He says, "So why are you asking us, Dad?" I says, "Because it's your inheritance money. So, yeah, do whatever you like. We don't need money." This was the beginning. Two of my brothers, older to me, one like a father and one like a real good sibling. Both of them flew in 24 hours. They were in LA. Oh, and if you know Indian culture, who cares you're 45? You're still the baby. My brother was scolding me in front of my wife, my children, my housekeeper, everybody. He said, why? Why would you do this? You just put the whole family through the biggest scare, and now you want to take this risk at age 45, blow away your money? I said, bye, come on out. So I took him to my driveway. I opened first door, which is the passenger door. Open the glove compartment. I see, what do you see here? He said, what is this? So I pulled out $24. I put it back there. I go to the next car, and next car, same thing. Fourth car, he just went totally nuts. And he said, what are you trying to prove? I said, bhai, I came with $24 in this country, and I'm going to protect that. That's mine. I brought it from India. Rest, I made it here. If I lose it here, who gives a shit? At least I'll be happy. So my wife came to my rescue. She said, "Bhai sahab, karne do isko." That was the start of TUKATECH. Today is the last month of our 30 years. Next month will be 31 years. None of the other companies in our competition, including Gerber, has survived. They've either been bought out or closed or been bankrupt. By default, we are now the only American CAD-CAM company who work with every space program, every military progress, every Department of Defense things, because we are cleared for that. Bottom line, we've made the difference in the industry by not focusing on our bottom line or our Wall Street, or focusing on customer success. I am very proud to tell you that none of the employees who work with us are employees. They are all my family members. People who work with us, they have 20, 25, 28, 14, 16 year as far as the tenure with the company is concerned. When I started the company, I said, no, it's not me, it's a team. We started out by having a kitchen and a cook in every office. So from peon to president, we sit down together and eat. We talk to each other. We respect each other. Now I tell you something, there's nothing can replace respect. You respect, they learn to respect the customers, customers learn to respect you. It's a mirror. The whole life is a mirror. You want loyalty, be loyal first. They'll come to you. You want respect, respect them first. I have fired people for not being respectful to the other people because so many cultures show, oh, I'm superior to this, oh, this is the housekeeper, this is the janitor, or this. No, no, no. They're all equally important. They all add value for us to be in the business. If you're not going to do it, I'll share a very interesting Indian part of this. I was in India. I don't like going in summers because it's too hot. And here I had to go for a project. And ever since I was disrespectful to a driver, my father had given me the punishment. You'd always sit in the front with the driver. So till today, I only sit in the front with the drivers. Just a habit. So here I am with my driver in the front, and I just come out and I'm sweating like you wouldn't believe it. It's so hot. It was somewhere in Nizamuddin area and so on. And I asked Ramnath, he's been with me now 27 years. I said, Ramnath, is there a place where we can just go there? I want to have a glass of beer and some lunch before we go to Okhla. He said, yeah, sir. There's Oberoi is right there. So it's okay. So he dropped me. I said, go park the car and join me in the restaurant. Okay. So he comes in, and it's not a first time, it's often. I would sit down with my driver and eat. Not when my customers are there, but if there's just two of us or just a family or the team people, why is he going to sit there and go to a dhaba? No. So he's sitting down with me. It's a little dark area, restaurant. I see in the corner a customer alone. So I go there. I said, hey, you waiting for somebody? He said, no, just came for lunch. I said, why don't you come and join us? He said, no. I saw you, but you were sitting with somebody. He said, it's okay. I said, don't worry. It's my driver. Oh my God. The reaction. That guy went ballistic on me with swearing. He said, who do you think you are? You want me to sit with your driver? It's not America, buddy. It's India. I said, excuse me. Go back to your. No, I'm going to give you the piece of my mind. The guy went totally nuts on me. Really nuts on me. I came back to the office and I stopped working with this guy. Stupid person. And guess what? That guy was out of business in 3 years. Not because of ours, but his attitude. Second, very interesting one, where I find the equality makes a huge difference. So many people will go, oh my God, you can't do this. And which book is it written? Which culture does it say that? Yesterday, I'm going to share this. Yesterday, I had a guy here from Bangladesh in our office. We're going through one of our facilities. And when I walked in that facility, I saw one of the guys who now works for my son, but I brought him in. And so he's still in the part of the family. He was with TUKATECH, and then he's now working for Staiku. And he goes, Ramji, and then he comes and touches my feet. He's a white guy. This Bangladeshi guy can't understand this. So I said, hold on, let me explain you. He's been with me since 2004, 21 years. When he was a baby, now he's got two babies. I know his family and so on. He was involved in setting up the programs and working with my programmers in India, training them by staying there 3, 4, 5, 6 months at a time because he was single. And while he's there, I didn't know that he learned Hindi. I didn't know that he could speak and write Hindi. He had nothing else to do. So I remember one day I'm there and he's in the guest house, and Sunday I like to cook, and I call my housekeeper. I said, Rajkumar, I'm going to say this in Hindi because that makes more sense. I said, Rajkumar, कोई फिश की दुकान है जहाँ से हम फिश ला सकते हैं? मेरे को फिश खाने का दिल कर रहा है, पर मैं बनाऊंगा अपने तरीके से. So he turned around to Jason He said, Jason sir, वो जहाँ आपको ले गए थे वहां चलें? Jason said, नहीं नहीं साहब नहीं पसंद करेगा वो. Now, why did you say I wouldn't like it? He said, oh, it's too dirty. It's got a lot of flies. I said, and you're okay with that? You're a goddamn American, and I'm Indian. You're telling me reverse role. Are you now become Indian and I become American? No, no, I'll go wherever you want to. I don't care. But my thing was that here is the person who is adopted, who's done his. Why? Because there's no insecurity working in this company. You're not going to get fired. Every one person I brought in comes in straight from university or straight, no competition. I don't want them to unlearn something that they have learned from the other place. We take clean slate and we do it. I call them, we corrupt you our way. We put you through extensive training before you put you in the field, okay? Some of you guys don't make it, that's fine. But every office has interns coming from fashion schools. We are now in more than 500 or 700 fashion universities and schools. You know, NIFT. I've been advisor to many schools and colleges around the globe. I still sit on the board of many of them. Education is extremely important to me because I know the value of education. NIFT was one of the projects that I took. And the first NIFT, the first batch, is still very respectful. I used to take classes there sometimes. I used to go and give lectures and so on. I'm so happy to see what Niftians have done. I'm so happy that Niftians are now the backbone of the management level, CEO levels of the company. The biggest brand in the United States are being run by Niftians in Canada, in Europe, in Asia. Why? Value of education. You want to talk about that? I could write a book on value of education. I am sorry that a country like America, and I'm not saying this because Indianness, I say openly in my podcast, we failed to educate our people. One of the, I would say, a philosopher from Pakistan, Arifa. I listen to her sometimes because I find her very, very, very skilled educator. So in one of the interviews, somebody asked Arifa Begum, what is the difference between, मैं हिंदी में बोलूंगा क्योंकि उर्दू में बोला था, तो आदमी और इंसान में क्या फर्क है? How deep is that?
Our audience is people who aspire to be, in some cases, like you. You have led such a rich life, and there's so many. I mean, I can go on and on. So I want to just ask you some brief questions because obviously you were a rebel right from. I'm just going to go to your childhood for the beginning. Where do you think that streak came into you? Dad, mom, brother, sister, was just you? Is there anybody in your family like that?
I was opening an exhibition in Las Vegas, magic exhibition. I was the keynote speaker there. I was going to be at the exhibition where delegations from Africa and Pakistan and all these places were coming in. They had made the appointments and so on. That's 2 days later. Then from there, as I come back, I was going to go to Lahore. I was speaking at a conference where 180 tickets were sold already. And from Lahore, I was going to go to Delhi because the pressure came in from the big guys that I must attend this first trade show Mr. Modi is doing, Piyush Goyal and all the people, on apparel. It was 2 years ago. And they wanted me to be on the ribbon cutting ceremony in Radha. And then they had me on various panels. And then from there, I was going to go to Sri Lanka to speak at a. So I had a very busy schedule. I used to, all right. The guy comes in, he says, you've got 2 arteries totally blocked. I said, whoa, just a minute. What does it mean? Can't you put a stint or something? Because it's a 2-day job. He said, no, not where that is because we call this a silent heart attack. You will not get any symptoms of a heart attack. You will drop one breath to the other. So decide what you want to do in a plane, in a waiting area, in a conference. That's your choice. So he scared the shit out of me. Okay, do it. When they started doing it, one of the main arteries broke, and the amount of blood that was coming out was uncontrollable. They had to stop everything. 11 hours later, my heart wouldn't start. So thank God they had a machine called ECMO, which is the artificial heart. But the statistics show that a 75-year-old person, less than 1% chances for the person to come out of that machine. 4 days, my chest was open. The machine was there. They would shut it down. My body would go into spasms and so on. I didn't know. My son told me just recently that they had told everybody to say goodbye. My wife is the only one who said, he's not going anywhere. I know that. And she took over the business, doing the things and so on. She was in India. She flew. Nobody in the business knew, except one person started a rumor he must be dead because it's not like Ram. There's no show, no explanation, no show in so many places. There's got to be no other. 8 weeks later, I found out. I was in the hospital for a long time. Every possible thing that could go wrong. And I laughed when I heard that. I said, open the recording studio. I'm going to make a recording. And um, it's one of the podcasts, How My Business Ran Without Me for 2 months. And I'm a very strong believer that I am nobody. We are a team. With or without you, with or without anyone, the company will always run. Those who thought the business or the life or things will not work, I can show them a cemetery where the people are just there who thought the world would end without them. Yeah, we're still working. And family-owned businesses are set up to go on and on. Businesses don't die, people die. Okay, I'm back. I'm driving. I don't have a driver. I'm working 14, 15 hours a day. I don't have a problem, but people just put you in that group that, okay. So many people would ask, especially my customer, hey, Ram, why are you still working? I said, define working. I'm having the best time of my life. If I lie down in a sofa in my office for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, my chief technology officer starts getting shakes. The son of a bitch is going to get up and have a new idea. Then we got to develop that. Yeah. What was done yesterday was yesterday. Today is a new day. Let's find a simplifier way. So disruption is, in my words, is disruption of a bad process to simplify that, to make it easier for others. That's not disruption. But then they just don't have any word except for innovation. And it's not innovation. It is disrupting that process to get the same results, but in a shorter way, in a faster way, in an unskilled way. Those. And somebody asked me, what made the difference in your life? Who had the profound effect? It was a movie. 1974, I saw a movie. I was in Canada. The movie was called Siddhartha, from a book written by Hermann Hesse, a German writer. Simi Grewal and Shashi Kapoor. And I don't watch movies, but sometimes for the entertainment with wife and so on, we go. So that movie had two things which were very, very, very profound and made a huge impact for me. Shashi Kapoor as a prince going to prostitutes. It's not prostitutes. It's difference between prostitute and whore. In those days, there was the entertainers. They were the charmers. They would charm anyone with money, but not have sex with them. Whore doesn't care, just sex, money. That's it. So the prostitute part, somebody could just easily get fascinated, and either they love their beauty or their art or their whatever, And it shows that Shashi Kapoor fell in love with this girl and he wanted to marry her. He proposed her. She said no. He said, I'm the prince. I love you. She said, no, you don't love me. You love the 2 hours of me that you see me. You don't know me the other 22 hours. Starting at those expectations, we have nothing but disappointments in life. Because the next 22 hours you will go, but I didn't know this about you and that about those were caused disappointments. So the expectations are the one reason where people get disappointed. If I didn't expect a gift from you and you gave me a gift, I'll be very happy. I'm excited. And you're very happy to see me very happy because giving is again yours, right? Your pleasure. But if I was expecting the gift from you and you didn't give me, I would be very unhappy. It's the same bloody gift, but different scenario, right? So that was one lesson. The second one was that they show he leaves the kingdom and he's an ordinary man going from one place to the other. And of course, he has to eat. So he goes to a merchant. I'm looking for work. He said, okay, what can you do? He said, I can fast and I can think. How profound is that? The message is, I'm not going to dirty my mouth just because I'm hungry to do something stupid or um, um, not moral. And I can think. I have common sense. Half the people don't have common sense. The other half, skills can be developed. You have to have common sense. So these two things made a huge difference in my thinking process from 1974 onwards. And I think it's a good lesson to learn because what is our upbringing? What does it say? 3 phases in life, right? You learn, you earn, and you give, isn't it? So you return something that you can back to the community, to the people, whoever you can. Whether you give them money is not the question. Whether you give them knowledge, that's the question. Give something that is valuable to them, to that person. अंधे को 2 आंखें दे दो, भूखे को 2 रोटी दे दो, बेवकूफ को दिमाग दे दो, बस और कुछ नहीं कर सकते.
Our podcast is called Indianness. Ram, what is your definition of Indianness? We ask that to every guest of ours.
It's very interesting. I would say it's not just Indianness. It is India itself is a very diverse country. Um, the cultures, the languages, the clothing, the cultures similar, but then we have learned so many communities, religions live together, whether in harmony or not. But when you have a 1.4 billion people, it's like having so many parts in the area, and some of them will make some sound. But they learn to adjust. And the Indianness taught me to be tolerant. Number one, how to be more tolerant to everybody because they are not same. The Indianness taught me my values. My values are developed on the Indian heritage, the cultural heritage. Respect people, touch their feet, get their blessings. Today I'm alive, I would say 99% because of somebody's blessings, not because of my doings. Somebody must have given me some heartfelt blessings that I'm still alive, and I'm thankful for that. And I want to earn as many blessings as possible because you know what? Life is too short. That's the Indianness in us, our culture.
So, Ram, if you're driving down on the road to the Taj Mahal and you pass a billboard outside NIFT, for everybody, every young person who is listening to this, what would that billboard say according to you? What should be that one sentence on that billboard that you would like it to say outside NIFT?
The more you learn, the more you'll find out how much you don't know. Don't be scared. Learn. When those who say, when you try to tell them something, especially in India, when you talk, I've been out of India for more than 50 years, so, but I'm still Indian. I go there. We have 7 offices. We have 100 plus people working there. Every retailer, large retailer, small retailer, brands, local exporters, they all use TUKATECH, many of them. Okay. I made the systems in Hindi. I made it in Bangla. I made it. I okay. That's my country. When I started, in 1995, I was the first one to take digital pattern making in that country. The company was Shahi, and the guy said, "Oh, just a minute, you cannot." What are you talking about? He said, "No, your computers can't do it. What you can do, I can do better. Show you." Long story short, Orient Craft, Creative Group. There were 5 companies, Poppy in Tirupur, Dr. Shaktivel. These were the icons of the industry. Ask them, what is TUKATECH? Ask them, what is Ram Sareen? We personally sat there. We brought the people. We said, don't worry. There was another company, I forget the name. Mr. Gupta was a French company. And I still remember that vision. I will never forget a 55-year-old Master Ji sitting with a dhoti and a chappal with a leg up there and working on the computer making patterns. The owner from France came. He said, "Ram Sahab, आपने क्या कर दिया है? ये तो जादू कर दिया है." It was a hard work. None of my competitors wanted to put the energy, put the training sessions, and so on. We brought digital technology in so many countries. It was only by design. We wanted to make sure we can make things happen. Because I understand both sides. People are artisans and people are educated. In government industry, there are a lot of artisans. All my life, being a mechanical engineer, I have only benchmarked automotive industry as far as developing systems and technologies and processes. But I also kept in mind the difference between the two. They may have a lot of parallels, but the difference are automotive industry can hire educated engineers and a lot of people with the brain power. Here, we hire artisans who can do things with their hands, but they may not have grade 8 education. Try combining the two together, that's a challenge. And I'm very proud to say that today, more than 20,000 people are my friends. Literally, we're the only people who get invited to their family functions, their weddings, and we go. Is that more than money? Absolutely. Absolutely. This is relationships. I joke sometimes. I say, I do this because more people will show up on my funeral. But then I wouldn't know who showed up, who didn't. Okay.
Well, Ram, this has been, I have to tell you, amazing and fascinating for our listeners. Be a disruptor, be a rebel, treat people equally, hire people from the school. There's so many lessons, take chances. I mean, just I could go on and on and on. Great, great sessions. So much to learn, Ram, and so much more to come. And best wishes. Thank you for being on the Indianness podcast. Look forward to having you back again, Ram. Thanks so much.